have a motion to enter open session, please? Mr. Tamio, second by Mrs. Manolito. All in favor? 5-0. Everyone, please stand for the pledge.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the budget hearing of May 3rd? Mrs. Marcus, second by Mrs. Splice. All in favor? 5-0. A motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of May 3rd. Mrs. Manolito, Mrs. Weiss, all in favor? 5-0. And a motion to approve the minutes of May 15th. Mr. Tamio, second by Mrs. Manolito. All in favor? 4. And any abstentions? 1. Mrs. Weiss. Thank you. We have a really exciting night tonight, and we'll have Dr. Bossert take over for our accommodation section. We have some tenures and some resignations of some of the beloved staff.
It is wonderful to see so many special guests tonight to help us to honor and recognize so many of the outstanding individuals that are such a fiber of the Elwood School community. We have some we're recognizing tonight that are just beginning their careers, some that are reaching the pinnacle of their careers, and others who have called it a career. So we have many special guests here tonight to help us recognize the contributions that these outstanding individuals have made and will continue to make for the students, faculty, and staff and community of Elwood. I will take a moment to congratulate each of you. You know, whether it's the recognition of tenure or the culmination in retirement, the work that you've chosen to do and dedicate your life to cannot be more important. The opportunity that we have each day to impact in a positive way the lives of the children is an outstanding one. And I commend each of you who have taken full advantage of that opportunity to make the positive impacts that you do each and every day. So tonight is just an opportunity to recognize that and to show our appreciation for your achievements. And to begin with doing that, I'm going to call upon everyone's favorite high school principal, Mrs. Brzezinski, to represent candidates recently awarded tenure.
Good evening, everyone. So 3 years ago, we embarked on a journey to hire 2 new school counselors as a result of 2 veteran counselor retirements at John Glenn High School. After an extensive search, we were lucky enough to find 2 very experienced counselors who, since their arrival, have helped to continue to enhance the program of the guidance department at John Glenn High School. So I will begin with Ms. Carolyn Polina. If you can join me at the podium. I can't say enough about Ms. Polina, but I was asked to keep my speech brief, which is sometimes a challenge. But for those of you who do not know, Ms. Polina is completing her 10th year as a school counselor, 7 of which were at Carmel High School in Westchester. As a new member of the counseling department at John Glenn High School, she brought with her a wealth of knowledge in content, process, and practice. Over the past 3 years, Ms. Polina has become a valued member of the John Glenn High School faculty. She's highly motivated. She possesses a commitment to assist her students' academic, social, and emotional development. She understands the diverse personalities and needs of the adolescent student whom she works with. She has forged positive relationships with the students, faculty, and community. She serves as the co-advisor to the class of 2018 and the Natural Helpers co-advisor. She relates so well to the students and appropriately guides them as they pursue their academic plans. As a result of her knowledge base, experience, and leadership, the counseling department has made monumental strides in enhancing the services that we provide to our students and families of the John Glenn community. It is truly a pleasure to offer our congratulations on being recognized for tenure. Thank you. It's hard to separate the two of them, but the other superstar is Miss Nasser. So Miss Nasser, if you can join me also at the podium. Also like to take a moment to congratulate Miss Nasser on just having her second child, despite the fact that she doesn't look like it. So Ms. Nasser is completing her 12th year as a school counselor, 10 of which were working at specialized schools such as the STEM High School, the Bronx Science High School of Science, and the humanities-oriented school, Townsend Harris High School in Queens. But over the past 3 years, Ms. Nasser has become a valued member of the John Glenn High School faculty. She too has served as a co-advisor of the class of 2018 and has helped to spearhead the very successful Freshman Buddy Mentor Program. She has also helped to bring in over 80 college representatives to help our students better prepare for the college process beyond John Glenn. Ms. Nasser, for those of you who have had a chance to interact with her, is an absolute true professional who makes strong connections with her students and parents. She collaborates with her colleagues, works well with all members of the John Glenn faculty, staff, and administration, and it has been an absolute pleasure to work with her over the past 3 years. Again, it is my pleasure to offer my congratulations to Ms. Nasser on being recognized for tenure. We have also had the great fortune of selecting a superstar for our science department, Ms. Panero. Please join me. So with the help of Ms. Eileen Kelly Gorman, we were able to secure another talented individual who comes to us with tons of experience. And we love bringing people with experience to John Glenn High School because they certainly add to our program. Ms. Panero is completing her 14th year teaching, 10 of which were in Ohio. As a new member of the science department and John Glenn faculty, she too brings with her a wealth of knowledge in both content and pedagogical practice. Over the past 3 years, she's become a valued member. She's constantly pushing the science department to new levels. She is a professional who makes strong connections with her students and her parents, collaborates well with all of her colleagues, staff, and administrators. Her positive attitude and commitment to her craft and affable demeanor make her such an absolute pleasure to work with. Ms. Panero is a true professional that's clearly reflective and dedicated to perfecting her craft, and it is my pleasure to offer her congratulations on being recognized for tenure. Congratulations. Thank you.
The next group of honorees that we're going to recognize are those who have committed 25 years or a quarter century of service to the Elwood School District. To help put that in perspective for all of you, I was still in college. And to help us I'm just being mean. To help us get that started, I'm going to call upon Dr. Toscano. I'm sorry, you Dr. Toscano, please join us.
Good evening. Tonight, Boyd celebrates 3 individuals who celebrate their 25th year of teaching in the Elwood School District. The first we'd like to honor is Christina Telegram. I could speak for hours about my teachers, but I was asked to keep it short. So, she has worked at Elwood for her entire career and at Boyd. She has taught both 4th and 5th grade, and she is known for her creativity and passion for education. Please join me in congratulating and thanking Christina for her 25 years of service. The second individual we're going to celebrate is Michelle Otley. So Miss Otley has also served her full 25 years at Boyd Intermediate School. Pretty impressive. She has also taught 4th and 5th grade. She is known for her dedication, professionalism, and ability to do it all. Please join me in congratulating and thanking Mrs. Otley for her 25 years of service. And now another very special individual who's hidden in that background, Mrs. Terry LePipero. Please come forward. So it's not often that you have 3 25-year recipients that have had their same career in one building, but she too has worked 25 years at James H. Boyd as the computer teacher assistant. She works tirelessly to assist in our building in the technology skills, manage assessments, and keeping our building website up to date. Please join me in thanking and congratulating Ms. LePipero on her 25 years of service.
Call upon our next recipient. To speak about our next recipient, I'd like to call upon Mrs. Valley, our middle school assistant principal.
Good evening. I'm both excited and honored to celebrate Wendy Braxton tonight. Wendy, if you please join me at the podium. Absolutely. Wendy has been a member of the Elwood family for many years, believe it or not. She first walked through the halls of EMS as a student when it was a junior high school. She then went on to complete her student teaching in the Elwood School District, and today we are celebrating a dedicated 25 years of service as a social studies teacher. During this time, she has also served as a lead teacher, advisor of student council, advisor to the National Junior Honor Society, and is currently the vice president of the Elwood Teachers Alliance. There are so many attributes to describe Wendy. Her students, or so as she calls them, grasshoppers, have described her as very understanding, so approachable, and the friendliest teacher. They love that she plays John Mayer music and tells corny Star Wars jokes. They also appreciate how she has created a calm and positive learning environment, pointing out that it's not just the couch and AC that make her classroom so relaxing.
Students recognize her for her caring and compassion as authentic and thrive as a result of it. Wendy is well respected by her colleagues. She has been described as loyal, the voice of reason, and rational. Working with Wendy these past 4 years, I have found her to be trustworthy, diplomatic, and professional. And honestly, I respect her opinion, greatly appreciate her sense of humor, and admire her ability to find the positive in any given situation. Ms. Braxton, on behalf of the Elwood School community, I want to thank you for being a dedicated member to the Elwood Middle School and always giving 110% to your students and staff.
Before we call upon our last 25-year recipient, I just want to share something. I've been referring to these as the Stanley Cup since I walked in, and I found out what we give to 25-year honorees. And there's a tradition with the Stanley Cup that when teams win it, they tend to do ridiculous things with the trophy. And pictures always surface of the Stanley Cup at the bottom of a pool or at the top of a mountain or taking joyrides through cities. So I'd be curious during the summer months if our 25-year recipients would send some candid photos of exactly what they're doing with their 25-year trophies. I think that would be entertaining for us all. We'll post them to the website, maybe. To speak about our last 25-year recipient, I'd like to call upon our Director of Facilities, Mr. McDonald.
Thank you. Steve Gangenbach, would you please come down and join us? Steve Gangenbach's 25 years of service to the Elwood School District as a custodial worker has placed him in each of all 4 buildings, starting at the high school and moving to Harley, working in night positions, and then to the middle school in a day position, which he held for almost 15 years. His reliable performance and experience was much appreciated by the building's chief custodian. My own experience with Stephen during his alternate assignments as substitute for the building chief custodian, I found Stephen to be highly professional and well-versed in the needs of the building during the chief custodian's absence. Recently, Stephen has transferred to Boyd and then to the high school, where he continues to provide thorough and consistent performance. On behalf of the Elwood School District, we'd like to thank Stephen and congratulate him for his 25 years of service to the district and wish him all the best in the years to come.
I could probably make some one-line joke about how we should have done this last group first. But to speak about, we got that one? Okay. To speak about our retirees, this very special group of individuals, I would like to start off by calling on our middle school principal, Dr. Sally.
So I guess I'm not the favorite middle school principal, but Mrs. Fisher, can you please come join me at the podium? Mrs. Fisher, it is a great honor to speak about you this evening. You have spent your career teaching, loving, and nurturing the children of the Elwood community. Your passion for your craft, love and dedication to your students and staff will leave a lasting impression on all of us for the longevity of our careers. I remember as a new, nervous first-year principal, I walked into the faculty room and you were sitting there, and in your most sincere and genuine way, you said, "How are you? I want you to know I'm so glad you're here." You instantly made me feel at home and connected to the Elwood Middle School. As I've spoken to your students, I've learned that you do the same for them every single day. Your students said to me, "Mrs. Fisher lights up any room that she walks into."
Another said, Mrs. Fisher is not just a teacher, she's our friend. And most importantly, a student shared with me that you have a no negativity rule in your classroom. If they come in and try to complain about anything, you encourage them to turn it around. So as you prepare to close this chapter of your life, please know that we are excited for you to embrace all of the other passions that we know you have waiting on the other side. We appreciate all you have given of yourself to the Elwood community, and we appreciate it and will emulate it for our generations to come. So thank you for being here and sharing it with all of us. My only regret is that I only got 1 year to work with you. Thank you.
For our next honoree, I'd like to call upon Mrs. Milan, our favorite Harley Princess.
Good evening. Jane Gang, can you please come join me? Jane Gang has worked for the Elwood School District for over 21 years. She started as a volunteer in Barbara Quigley's kindergarten classroom, then was a kindergarten paraprofessional for 12 years, and a teaching assistant for 9 years. She always works closely with the teachers and staff to create a fun, exciting, and enriching learning environment. Jane is someone who is always willing to help out anyone at any time. Jane, congratulations on your retirement. We will miss you terribly. Enjoy this special quality time with your family and your grandchildren.
Dr. Toscano, would you like to join us again, our favorite boy? My favorite principal knows who she is.
It is an honor to commend and to honor Mr. Tim Kenyon, who's come forward. Mr. Kenyon is retiring after 43 years in teaching music. He has spent the last 18 years of his career at James H. Boyd Intermediate School. He takes such pride in his band program and has worked tenaciously over the years to build a very strong program. We wish him luck as he joins his wife in retirement and also to spend time with his daughters, but mostly to really enjoy all of those Yankee games. Please join me in thanking him for his service and wishing him congratulations on his well-deserved retirement.
Mrs. Brzezinski, would you like to present your retirees?
Good evening again. Tonight I have the pleasure to recognize two staff members at John Glenn High School who will be retiring at the end of the school year. The first is Ms. Sandra Kruger. If you can just join me at the podium. I think you almost made 25 years. Yes? Ms. Kruger has been an Elwood employee for the past 24 years. Over the past years, she has served in the critical role as the computer assistant at John Glenn High School. Whenever anyone needed technology needs prepared for a classroom lesson, faculty or community presentation, Sandra was always there. She is everyone's go-to for troubleshooting computer malfunctions, even if it means calling her to your room or office just to turn the power on. Her willingness to be on hand at any time is greatly appreciated and will surely be missed. I am confident that Ms. Kruger will enjoy this new phase of her life as she spends more time with her husband, Rick, who will also be retiring this year, visiting her children, Sean and Allie, until she eventually moves to Buffalo to spend more time with her twin grandchildren, Lily and Evan. We wish her all the best in her retirement, and thank you so much for her service. Congratulations. Congratulations. Also preparing for her retirement is a beloved Ms. Kalinowski. Chris, if you can join me here at the podium. Chris and her husband Michael have been residents of the Elwood community for 37 years. And for the past 13 years, Chris has dedicated her life to working as a teacher assistant at John Glenn High School. She has assisted countless staff, students, and administrators in many settings. She connects so well with all of the people of the Elwood community and has earned her the nickname Mama K. Additionally, she has served as the student council advisor, so her role has been very critical. Ms. Kalinowski has helped to coordinate innumerable events that are at the heart of the Elwood community. Among many, she was central to coordinating our Spirit Week, Homecoming, Mr. Glenn, the Head Start Holiday Party, Annual Relay for Life, Volleyball-a-thon, and various other Harley and Boyd activities. It's no wonder every faculty meeting, I'm like, I need a new student council advisor if anybody's interested. She is such an integral part of the John Glenn community, and her efforts are appreciated and will greatly be missed. Without question, Ms. Kalinowski's absence will be felt by everyone in the Elwood community when she retires. But on behalf of myself, as well as the faculty and staff, we wish you great luck, health, happiness as you retire and spend your golden years with Michael Squared, your husband Michael, and your son. And Ms. Kalinowski has graciously agreed to help with homecoming this next fall, so perhaps we'll be seeing more of her. Congratulations on your retirement.
To speak about our next retiree, I'd like to call upon your humanities director, Mrs. Fine.
Good I am honored to recognize our next retiree, Sean McGinty. Sean has an incredibly kind and gracious spirit. He is an individual with high integrity and a passion for teaching. With all the demands placed on educators today, Sean has never lost sight of the most important thing about being a teacher, his students. This is most evident in the relationships that he has cultivated and the lengths that he has gone to support his students in their academics, social relationships, and in sports. I have observed him on many occasions interacting with students, colleagues, and community members. He greets everyone he encounters with a warm smile and genuine care. It is amazing to watch children of all ages go out of their way to interact with him. These interactions almost always include the students affectionately greeting him with, "Hey Gimpy," or "How are you, Gint?" We are truly grateful for that after 22 years of teaching at LaSalle Military Academy, Sean made the decision to join us at Elwood, and he has dedicated the last 17 years of his career to our students. So Sean, as you prepare for your final days of teaching, I want to thank you on behalf of the Board of Education, the staff, and most of all, the countless students that you have so positively impacted. We wish you all the best and hope that you enjoy many years of health and happiness with your wife Susan and your family, and know that your Elwood family will certainly miss you.
Thank you so much.
Watch this, Dr. Sapienza, to recognize our next retired. I'd like to call upon everyone's favorite superintendent. So, Mrs. Schweier, would you please join me? For those that are not aware, Nancy Schweier began her career in the Elwood School District as an internal auditor. That began in 1985. She found out that year that she was about to entertain another position in life when she became a mother, so she promptly left the Elwood School District. Only to return in 1987 as a part-time substitute teacher caller. What is that?
It's an old-fashioned way.
That was before we had, before ASOP, there was Nancy Schweier. In 1990, she became a part-time clerk typist in the Human Resources Department. In 1995, she became a part-time senior clerk typist in the athletic office and a part-time clerk typist in the HR office. In 2000, she became a part-time account clerk in the business office, assisting as well as a part-time clerk in HR. In 2002, she became a full-time 12-month senior clerk typist in the HR department, became confidential principal clerk of HR shortly after that, and then her final appointment, or at least the final one we could find, she keeps the personnel file, so we have to trust her own methodology to know that this information is correct. In 2007, she became a confidential secretary assistant in Human Resources. Perhaps her most important position, however, she was appointed to on October 28th of this past year, 2017, when she became grandmother to Carter. But I've had the pleasure of working very closely, about 10 feet away, with Nancy for the last 2 years, and I quickly discovered what a valuable resource she is for the school district. Before there was Google, it was Nancy. She knows the history, she knows the people, she knows the places, she knows the names. She certainly knows the contracts, and she knows to tell me when I'm doing something incorrectly. Nancy has been a valuable and trusted resource to this district and this administration and previous administrations for a good period of time, and she will be sorely missed as she rides off into the sunset with Gary to do things that I know have been on the list for quite some time. We wish you nothing but the best in retirement, grandchildren, your children, and you will truly be missed in the Elwood School District. We do have a scheduled recess to do some celebration, but in deference to our student liaisons, we're going to invite Mrs. Coster and perhaps a guest forward to deliver the final student liaison report for the school year. Mrs. Coster. Ms. Coster.
Ms. Castro. Emma, calling you up for the last time is really sad for me. For those of you who don't know, I've known Emma since she's a baby. And I admire so much the young woman you've become, and I'm so proud of you. And I really thank you for updating this update by including all the schools and being so articulate and keeping your sense of humor. And we wish you all the best in Notre Dame next year. You deserve it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. The last few weeks seem to have really flown by. So much has been happening all around the district as each building prepares to wrap up another wonderful school year. As always, Harley celebrates their students with model behavior by awarding them with the honor of Knights of the Month. In May, kindergartner Andy Mustafaj, first grader Jake Williamson, and second grader Carissa Capalvo were all recognized for their outstanding character. So many exciting things are coming up in the Harley calendar, with Mismatch Backwards Day being tomorrow, Field Day for grades 1 and 2 on Monday, the June Night of the Month Pep Rally on the 13th, the first grade Flag Day concert on the 14th, and the kindergarten beach trip. It is an especially memorable time for the second graders who will be moving up from the primary building, as the week of June 18th will be the second grade send-off week and the second grade gear show. In a wonderful way to leave their mark on Harley, the second graders are currently working on their rock garden. We wish the students, faculty, and families of Harley luck and happiness as we hope they enjoy all the fantastic things coming their way this month. Boyd has also had much to celebrate as they acknowledge their fifth graders in their transition to the middle school. The fifth grade carnival will take place on June 20th, and their moving up ceremony will be held on the 19th. Congratulations to them and all the hard work they've put into their time at Boyd. We wish them success in the middle school. On June 1st, the famous 8th grade dance was held in the middle school cafeteria from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. An excellent time was had by all. The middle school administered the written New York State Science exam on June 4th. With the thorough preparations of the teachers here, we know that the students must have performed well, and we commend them for the hard work that went into studying and taking these tests. Just this afternoon, the freshman buddy mentors from the high school went down to the middle school to meet the incoming 9th grade class. This is an excellent way to quell some of their 8th grade summer anxieties as they look forward to joining the John Glenn community at the end of the summer. Tomorrow will be both the 6th grade picnic and the 8th grade farewell barbecue. I don't want to jinx it, but the weather forecast looks good, and we hope that all the middle schoolers enjoy a wonderful celebration. The middle school will have their last day of classes on June 12th, with final exams and regents extending through the 20th. The middle school will host the 8th grade moving up and award ceremony at 6 p.m. on June 20th. On the 21st, we will send each of the grades off to their respective end-of-the-year trips, with the 6th graders going to Adventureland, the 7th graders heading to Splish Splash, and the 8th graders venturing to Dorney Park and Wild Water Kingdom. As you can see, the buildings across the district have been pretty jam-packed these past few weeks, with the high school being no exception. AP exams are over and done, and the high school is happy to report that we had a successful 2 weeks of testing. Juniors had the privilege of picking out a very special memento of their time in high school at the class ring parent night. On May 21st, the PTSA hosted their annual staff appreciation luncheon in order to recognize the Glen faculty for all they do. I was told that the food was delicious, and I know that it was only a small way to show the tremendous gratitude we all feel for the high school staff. The high school has held both of their spring concerts. These events showcase the hard work and incredible talents of the JGHS music department. The juniors attended a crucially important presentation about the dangers of distracted driving on May 24th. On May 25th, the high school held their annual emergency dismissal drill. Everything went smoothly as everyone was eager to exit the building and begin their Memorial Day weekend. The Memorial Day Parade was Monday the 28th, and the band and kickline both participated in this powerful tribute to the men and women who have given their lives protecting this country. As always, Glen commends their excellent faculty with the presentation of the Noble Knight. May's Noble Knight, Mrs. Kyliker, passed the honor on to Mrs. Sherwood for June. Both of these women have a profound effect on their students daily, and we thank them for their commitment to their work. There is exciting news for one of our new school clubs, as the Unity with Diversity Club has been recognized for the Suffolk County legislator, Susan Barland, as a recipient of the Anti-Bias Task Force Award. This award is given to groups or individuals who combat prejudice and promote understanding between Suffolk County's diverse communities. The JGHS musical performance of The Little Mermaid was nominated for several categories for the Huntington Tony Awards. Felipe Gonzalez was nominated for Best Featured Actor in a Musical, Lexi Spellman for Best Lead Actress in a Musical and Best Female Vocalist, Taryn Sheldon for Best Lead Actor in a Musical and Best Male Vocalist. The school nominations were Best Stage Crew for a Musical, Best Costumes in a Musical, Best Technical Production in a Musical, Best Pit Orchestra, Best Ensemble in a Musical, and Best Dance Performances. Felipe Gonzalez won the Huntington Tony for his category, as did our Pit Orchestra. Once again, congrats to all these incredible students on their hard work and talent that went into creating such a wonderful show. Glen is lucky to boast highly accomplished students with excellence in many different areas. The Senior Academic Awards, the Junior Academic Awards, and the Music Sponsors Awards Dinner were 3 events in which the dedication and gifts of the Glen student body were recognized and acknowledged. Congratulations to all of those who received an awards and scholarships at these events. This past Tuesday night, the class of 2018 enjoyed a fantastic night at Larkfield Manor as they celebrated their senior banquet. The whole class came together to receive their yearbooks and dance the night away. It was truly a memorable evening for all those who attended. Last night was the Spring Athletic Awards at 7 o'clock. With that, all the varsity athletes were commended for the blood, sweat, and maybe even a few tears they have put into their sports. Both the girls and boys track team finished with a record of 4-2 for the season. The girls lacrosse team finished at 7-8, and the boys lacrosse team ended with a record of 5-9. The boys tennis team, the girls softball team, and the boys baseball team all competed in challenging seasons. So many times it is not the score at the end of the game, but the lessons learned through battling the toughest competitors, spending time with your teammates, and pushing yourself to the limits that teach the most important lessons. Congratulations to all those athletes recognized at last night's awards, and we're sending good luck to Alice Chiodo and Jalen Sharp, who are currently representing the Glen girls track team at Syracuse in States. Looking forward, the class of 2018 is incredibly excited for Senior Day tomorrow, where we will participate in a wide range of field day events, sign each other's yearbooks, and enjoy a delicious barbecue in celebration of our last day of high school. Final exams and regents will be held from June 11th to June 20th. On June 18th, the seniors will have their graduation rehearsal followed by their graduation walk, where they will visit all the younger Elwood schools in their cap and gowns. The senior prom will be on the 21st at the Bourne Mansion, with graduation the very next day at 5:30 in the evening. A very busy 2 weeks await us all, so best of luck to everyone as they close out the school year strong. I know Ms. Kay didn't want me to say anything, but I wanted to take a minute to recognize her for all that she has done for the students at Glen. I feel so lucky to know that you have chosen to graduate with us, so we did not need to spend any time without your leadership. You'll be greatly missed. Thank you so much. It has truly been an honor and a pleasure to serve as your student liaison this past year. I know that I leave you in the excellent hands of Miss Annie Song, the newly elected all-school president for the 2018 and 2019 school year. Once again, thank you very much for your time and attention. I hope everyone enjoys a happy, healthy, safe, and restful sunset.
So I have remarked on a few occasions that it's always very difficult to speak after addresses the board and the community, and tonight is no different. Emma, you have set the bar very high for all future all-school presidents when they make their reports. I'm sure it will be met, but it's certainly a challenge you have placed. You have done a wonderful job representing yourself, the student body, and your family in such a professional and impressive way. You have helped to bring insight to the board and the community. You have helped the administration to gain perspective about student affairs, and you have been nothing short of a most outstanding and impressive employee. We know you will go on and continue to do wonderful and great things in Notre Dame, and we encourage you to come back and update us on all of your accomplishments that we know are short upon. Congratulations.
We're just going to adjourn shortly for coffee and cake to congratulate everyone, and we'll come back and finish the meeting. call us back to order. So our next on the agenda is the superintendent's report. Dr. Besser.
State of the Union is strong. We look forward to end-of-year activities, and I'm going to be a man of few words tonight. Thank you very much.
I thank you so much for that. We're up to our first resident remarks. The board encourages all residents to attend its meetings, and this section of the agenda affords them the opportunity to speak. Persons wishing to speak should identify themselves and any organization they represent at the meeting. Comments related to district business or any agenda item should be kept as brief as possible and may not exceed 3 minutes. Questions or comments concerning matters which are not on the agenda will be taken under consideration and may be discontinued by the president. Public discussion of matters relating to staff, students, or others at which their reputation, privacy, or right to due process could in some way be violated is prohibited. Any resident remarks tonight? Seeing none. The next thing up is acceptance of donations. I was wondering, Mrs. Manuelito, could you just say a few words about the donations that we will be voting upon tonight?
Thank you, Mrs. Freed. I just wanted to thank all of the organizations that generously donated to our school district this evening. We have a very impressive list. First and foremost, we have Elwood Secondary PTSA for $1,200 to fund the after-school Regents Review support for students. $1,920 from the Elwood Middle School PTA to purchase outdoor table umbrellas for student play yard. We have 10 Kindle e-readers from Alice Wolcott, John Glenn High School Library Media Specialist. $500 from the Suffolk Association of School Business Officials to support a graduating senior. The Kosia Foundation, $300 to support the Student Award Program for exemplary students enrolled in Italian language classes at John Glenn for the 2017-18 school year. And then we have a very impressive check in the amount of $56,805 from the Elwood Booster Club. I just wanted to make mention that for the 2017-2018 school year, the Elwood Booster Club generously donated over $85,000 this year. The $56,000 will be purchasing new projectors to replace for smartboard projectors. For funding after-school clubs for makerspace, public speaking, robotics, purchasing books and supplies to support cultural competency. The list goes on and on and on. Thank you so much for all your continued support throughout the year. Elwood SEPTA has donated $400 to support the Elwood Middle School Finals Review classes, $400 for high school Regents and Finals Review, $712.66 to fund the Harley Spring Crafty Kids Club, and $94.95 to support the transportation cost of Life Skills Field Trip. Again, thank you to the community members who support these organizations and to all the volunteers who help run the organization for the betterment of our district.
Mrs. Manuelito, many of us on the board have been involved in fundraising in Elwood and know how difficult it is and how much time and energy our community members put in. So we're so grateful and so lucky to live in such a rich environment such as this one. So can I have a motion to accept donations? Mrs. Manuelito, second by Mrs. Weiss. All in favor? 5-0. Okay, let's move on to consent agenda. Can I please have a motion to accept the consent agenda? Motion? Lito, second. Mr. Tamio, any discussion about the consent agenda? Yes. This is not the pull-out, this is the asterisk. Okay. So it's just the asterisks on the consent agenda. Questions or comments? All in favor? 5-0?
May I make a comment, Mrs. Chair?
You may.
Part of the consent agenda tonight included many personnel actions. One of the retirees that was not able to join us tonight was Ms. Lauren Buchholz, who is retiring after many years of service as the Elwood Middle School guidance counselor, and we will celebrate her on another occasion if she's not available tonight. One of the actions the board just took unanimously was to appoint Ms. Lori Lederer as the new guidance counselor for Elwood Middle School, and I see Lori is in attendance tonight, so I would just like to congratulate you personally and welcome to the Elwood community.
Welcome to the family. Thanks for attending tonight. Okay, I'm going to apologize for this one before I have to do it. So the next item is under financial matters, and one, authorization of the TAN note. So I have to read a very lengthy resolution per Mary Lou out loud, and then we'll take a vote. So be it resolved by the Board of Education of the Elwood Union Free School District in the County of Suffolk County, New York, as follows. Section 1, tax anticipation notes, herein called notes of Elwood Union Free School District in the County of Suffolk, New York, herein called district, in the principal amount of not to exceed $13 million, and any notes in renewal thereof are thereby authorized to be issued pursuant to the provisions of Section 24.00 and 39.00 of the Local Finance Law, constituting Chapter A of the Consolidated Laws of the State of New York, herein called law. Section 2, the following additional matters are hereby determined and declared. A, the note shall not be issued in anticipation of the collection of real estate taxes to be levied for school purposes for the fiscal year commencing July 1st, 2018 and ending June 30th, 2019, and the proceeds of the note shall be used only for the purposes for which said taxes are levied. B, the note shall mature within the period of 1 year from the date of their issuance. The notes are not issued in renewal of other notes. D, the total amount of such taxes remains uncollected at the date of the adoption of this resolution. Section 3, the notes hereby authorized shall contain the recital of validity prescribed by Section 52.00 of the law and shall be general obligations of the district, and the faith and credit of the district are hereby pledged to the punctual payment of the principal of interest on the notes, and unless the notes are otherwise paid or payment provided for, an amount sufficient for such payment shall be inserted in the budget of the district, and a tax sufficient to provide the payment thereof shall be levied and collected. Section 4, subject to the provisions of this resolution and the law, and pursuant to sections 50.00, 56, 60, and 61 of the law, the power to sell and issue the notes authorized pursuant hereto, or any renewals thereof, and to determine the terms, forms, and contacts, including the manner of execution of such notes, and to execute tax certifications relative thereto, is hereby delegated to the President of the Board of Education, the fiscal officer of the district. Section 5, the note shall be executed in the name of the district by the manual signature of the President of the Board of Education, the Vice President of the Board of Education, the district treasurer, the district clerk, or such other officer of the district as shall be designated by the Chief Fiscal Officer of the district, and shall have the corporate seal of the district impressed or imprinted thereon, which corporate seal may be attested by the manual signature of the district clerk. Section 6, this resolution shall take effect immediately. Can I have a motion to approve resolution? Mrs. Manolito, seconded by Mrs. Weiss. All in favor? 5-0. Oh, I'm sorry, Mary Lou. Can I have a motion? Mrs. Manolito, seconded by Mrs. Weiss, and we'll do a roll call.
When I call your name, please respond with the word yes or no. Mrs. Marcus?
Yes.
Mrs. Weiss?
Yes.
Mrs. Manolino?
Yes.
Mr. Tonian?
Yes.
And Mrs. Freed?
Yes.
The vote is 5-0, motion carries.
You may comment.
My comment is Mrs. Reed, you read very well. I neglected another item of note on the personnel agenda because the gentleman affected by such was not sitting in my correct peripheral vision. But another action of the board this evening was to appoint as our part-time Director of Human Resources, Mr. Tom Clay. So Mr. Clay, welcome back. And we look forward to continuing to work with you in this new capacity. So congratulations, Tom.
Okay, so we are up to action item N1, and this is a resolution. Be it resolved, the Board of Education President is hereby authorized to sign and execute a second amendment to the employment agreement with Dr. Kenneth R. Bossert, Superintendent of Schools, effective July 1st, 2018, as presented to the board at this meeting, and said agreement will be incorporated by reference within the minutes of this meeting. Can I have a resolution to accept this? A motion to accept this. Mrs. Manalito, seconded by Mr. Tomio. Questions or comments?
I have comments. My first comment that I just caught is that I believe that this is the third amendment to the contract. So if this should go through, I would suggest that that gets changed on the actual paperwork. I believe the second amendment was May 18th, 2017. My objection to this amendment is within the second paragraph of the contents of the amendment, which is effective July 1, 2018, paragraph 6E of the employment agreement dated March 31st, 2016, is modified by providing that the superintendent shall receive during the term of his employment an annual monetary benefit of $3,000 retroactive to July 1, 2017, which shall not be part of his base salary in consideration for not being provided health insurance coverage by the district. And then there's some other language that accompanies that. My objection to that is that while it does not add any increase to his base salary, it does add an increase to his benefits package, and it's an additional benefit that was very clearly negotiated by all parties just 2 years ago. In the superintendent's contract under 6E, is during the term of his employment, the superintendent shall not be provided with health insurance. The referenced payout of $3,000 annually in perpetuity of his contract would be in lieu of an employee who is entitled to health insurance in our district pursuant to contract, deferring it, opting not to use it, opting to take a payout instead. But that is not the case of the superintendent. In this case, the language is very clear that he shall not be provided, not that he will not take it or defers to take it or opts not to take it. So when I look at the perspective of the being a fiduciary of the taxpayers, while it won't add to his base, it is still a $3,000 amount, which isn't huge, but it's a $3,000 amount now to perpetuity of something that clearly states in his contract that he's not entitled to. It was a well-executed, carefully drafted contract. All parties were well represented. I believe Dr. Bossert is very savvy to his credit. And I just am not comfortable adding something into his contract when there's language that expressly states that it should not be there.
So this amendment has two parts to it. The first part is about the extension of the contract. And with that, I support that. I think it is for the benefit. We extend a contract, I guess this is common practice among superintendents, and really we do it to maintain continuity of the direction that we're going. So it provides a mutual benefit to the community that we serve. And it also gives Dr. Bossert on his end security, knowing that we do appreciate and respect his work that he's doing here, and we want it to continue. So with that, that is why I got some questions today about why do we extend the contract, why do we already extend it this year? And that is very valuable, I think, again, it serves its purpose. The second part of this amendment is the part that I really grapple with. As the superintendent serves the board serves the community. I am an agent of this community. I have to represent them, and where I might not do something personally, as a board member, I make decisions based on what I believe the community, what's best for the community. And in this respect, a contract is a formal, it's a legally binding agreement that has both pros and cons. It protects Dr. Bossert, it protects us, and it's something that should be sacred. And an amendment to that contract needs to be really definitive, and it needs to be something just out of the ordinary. So, so when this issue of the health insurance came up concerning this contract, I wasn't involved with the original contract. I was not a board member at the time. I went through and I read the terms of this contract. And I think what I was taking back with the contract, I knew that Dr. Bossert was not receiving health benefits, but what I was taking back was the language in which that particular aspect of the contract was written. It was strong language, it was explicit, it was definitive. Mrs. Marcus didn't point that out, but basically it says, the paragraph says, during the terms of his employment, the superintendent shall not be provided with health insurance. In the event of the demise of his spouse or divorce, the superintendent shall there be permitted. That to me is very extreme. I interpret it as extreme. It's not that he's waiving his right. It's not that his circumstances change. It's very clear and definitive. So with that, the next question I had in my mind was there any sort of misleading? And we had some discussions, and I came to the conclusion that it was a very thorough contract. Both parties, Dr. Bossert was very thorough. I worked with him, and the attorneys are very thorough. So that was no on that. The next thing that I looked at was, well, when was this litigation? When was it initiated, whatever? Was it close to the time that he came on board? Is there some leeway? No, it had been around for a while. So in that respect, there was a knowledge coming into the contract that both parties should have been familiar with it. And in retrospect, probably should have put a provision in that. That was part of the language of it.
Debbie, would you mind if I gave a history of what that was so that people understand what you're talking about? About the litigation?
Absolutely.
Just for public record, this stipend for health insurance, it was litigation because in the state of New York, NYSHIP employees, so if you were married or had a spouse and both of you got health insurance from NYSHIP, it was taken, your benefit to defer it was taken away. This was litigated after the contract was signed and won. So every single other member of the Elwood staff now is privy to that $3,000 benefit if you are married to a NYSHIP employee, and they get the health insurance from there. So this is really offering our superintendent what every other NYSHIP employee who is married to a NYSHIP employee is already getting this year and forward.
If they are entitled to health insurance pursuant to their contract.
Correct. Which is why the contract is amended. So that's what we're putting up, an amendment to the contract. It's not saying it was in the original contract. It wasn't, and there's no argument there. It wasn't in the contract. It's something that everyone else in this district is getting, and that's why it is up for an amendment. It is not, we're not saying it was in the original contract. That's absolutely correct. Okay, and I appreciate, Mrs. Weiss, that you brought out that it's the 5-year and the health insurance, and there's no question that we all support a 5-year contract and that we support our superintendent. So I appreciate that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to make sure people understood.
Just, you went back, going back to what you just said about the litigation. The litigation, again, was initiated well in advance of the contract, of the terms of the contract itself. I think that needs to be kept into focus because the language that could have been written in this contract could have incorporated that. It was not. Again, the language in the contract, and again, I've gone over this through my head a million times, and it's clearly definitive. I mean,
Right, it's clear that it wasn't in the original contract. That's why it's up for an amendment. Right.
Yes. So, with that, it's not, okay, it's not in the original contract. He's not entitled to the benefit of health insurance. We're not providing it. It's not waived, we're not providing it. And therefore, anything in relationship to that, under my interpretation, is not to be, it's not entitled.
Okay.
So therefore, as, again, trustee, and I have to look at the fiduciary responsibility of the community, I cannot support the health insurance plan.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? So we have already had a motion and a second. All in favor? 3 opposed? 2. 3-2. You may.
I would just like to take an opportunity to thank the Board of Education for the continued support you have shown for my leadership. The complimentary words that you've shared and the faith that you have shown in my leadership is greatly appreciated. Having the opportunity to continue to serve this wonderful community for the next 5 years is something I will cherish, and I hope that we will continue with the trajectory of success that we have been doing and attain even greater heights as a team. So thank you very much for your confidence.
I appreciate your comments, Dr. Vassar. And again, I appreciate everyone's comments on the board about Dr. Vassar's leadership, and we look forward to continued success for the next 5 years. Thank you very much. Items not listed on the agenda, we don't have any, correct? Communications, we have none. We're up to second resident remarks. Do I have any resident remarks second? Do I have to read? No. Okay. Seeing none. Can I have a motion to adjourn the business meeting? Mrs. Manalito, second by Mrs. Marcus. All in favor? 5-0. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Can I have a motion to re-enter executive session for the purpose of evaluation? Mrs. Manalito, second by Mr. Tamio. All in favor? 5-0.
Congratulations.